Right now, we have a beautiful, amazing, captivating, spiritually clenching piece. Please pay attention, no talking, give the artist respect. Even if you are behind your phone, just keep it on silent. Right? Right now, this piece was originally choreographed by the great Vincent Manzui with David April. Google that. Reimagined, restructured, redesigned, performed by the one and only Smangaliso Ngwenya from Isifiso Gogo Performance Theater. The name of the piece Ibidra Barena. Reimagined. Follow him. He's calling.
Hello, my name is Smangaliso Siphesihle Ngwenya. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I'm originally from emalahleni, and yeah, that's about it. So as I grew up, I realized that elders always want the best for you. Your ancestors always want the best for you. So when I realized that my granny from my mother's side, I grew up with her, I realized that she wants the best for her lineage, her legacy, and everyone who's around her. So when I founded Isifiso Saka Gogo, I founded it on the premise that most of my work is based on the roots, going back to the roots and finding yourself an identity and your practice through your roots. So that's why Isifiso Saka Gogo came about as a name. And also I wanted to, after coming from a company like Vuyani Dance Theatre, I realized companies are an essential part of how the creative and cultural industries are run and how you are able to then maneuver certain spaces with a company. And I realized that the best way to do it is maneuver it with the ancestral rooting, the ancestral cause, to find myself within the cultural and creative industries. So I've always been a dancer from home, and how I trained was I went and completed a Bachelor of Journalism and Media Studies at the University of at Rhodes University, and there I enrolled for a drama course in drama for my first 3 years of that degree. So most of my training and some of that technical training came from my journey with movement and physical theatre at the drama department, and some of it also came from practical experience from being part of the National Arts Festival. So there are people like Nomcebisi Moyikwa, Kamkhelo Molobye, who I collaborated with and performed with in the National Arts Festival, that allowed me to grow my movement, grow my understanding of choreography and physical theatre. And then after that Rhodes University journey, I went to Vuyani Dance Theatre, where I started as an intern, and then I progressed years later as a junior dancer, and then in 2019 finally as a senior dancer after starting in 2017. So significant events that I participated in at Rhodes University include the ones that I spoke about in my training. So I was part of Nomcebisi Moyigwa's Waltz in 2015, I'm sure, yeah, 2015. And then I was part of Kamkhelo Molobia's gameplay in 2016. So when I was at Vuyani Dance Theatre in 2017, I started off as an intern, and then in 2018 I progressed to become a junior dancer, and lastly in 2019 I was a senior dancer. Some of the roles that I occupied are also the roles of being a script writer for Otto Andile Nhlapo, as well as Lulu Mlangeni, and as well as videography for the company and video editing for the company. Things like the trailers, things like shortening videos, things like making videography work for the company that was new and fresh and that used my own take to videography and video editing, which is usually I use the medium of dance, the medium of choreography in how I edit videos and in how I videograph videos as well. So thus far I have 7 works that I have choreographed, and then two and then an additional 2 that were choreographed on me. So the first one being Masculinarity, which was the first work I created as a solo work at Rhodes University and progressed in Vuyani Dance Theatre. The second one would be Fragmented Scribbles. Fragmented Scribbles is a screen dance work, meaning a work that exists in the medium of film and combines the medium of choreography and film together. And then there's Home, which is also a screen dance that progressed to what is now called Evelyn. And then there's Glare, and then there's Descent that I did with Jake Natane, and then there is yeah, I think there are more, but I can't remember the rest. But altogether there's 7 works, and then there are other works that I partook in that I'm not necessarily the choreography in. Fragmented Scribbles won a Standard Bank Ovation Award for being part of the National Arts Festival in 2020. During my career at Vuyani Dance Theatre, I realized that I would like to investigate how the culture and creative industries work and understand it from different aspects. And then I enrolled for an MA in Cultural Policy and Management. And in 2020, I managed to get that degree conferred to me. Okay, so one of the works that I partook in, which is a highly integral work to my career, a highly integral work to how I approach movement currently, and it's the work that I'm performing at the My Body, My Space 2024 festival, is Barena Chiefs Reimagined. The work was originally created and choreographed by Vincent Manzwe, and he allowed then David April, who they've shared a career with for some time, from MID through to them growing outside MID. And he shared this work with David April, who then reimagined the choreography onto My Body. So that work was showcased at the Kucheza Dance Festival at the State Theatre in 2021. So one of my ways of being artistically realized, or one of my way of choreographing and dancing, is through text. So one of those ways is a blog that I call Choreographed Text. The Choreographed Text blog started when I was still doing my first qualification at Rhodes University at the Journalism and Media Studies School, and there I started by reviewing works that were happening on campus at Rhodes University. And then what happens then is that it grew into different spaces the further I went with my career. So spaces like Joburg, spaces like the Center for the Less Good Idea, and it's a space where I literally write texts about works that I've experienced, about dance works that I've experienced, theater works that I've experienced, as well as video works that I've experienced. And that platform is a platform for me to experiment with writing, how to write for theater, how to write for dance and choreography. And the reason why I call it choreographed text is because it uses choreographic devices in how it writes. It uses choreographic devices in how the words are put onto paper and are then presented out to audiences outside. And also choreographed text it integrates a poetic way of writing reviews, a poetic way of realizing how, when a work immediately happens in front of you, how that work can then be re-envisioned or rewritten in a review or through poetic language. I aim to grow my artistic practice through furthering my studies. My studies are an integral part of documenting other people's practice as well as my practice, and I aim to grow it through ensuring that I complete my PhD in theatre and performance, and in so doing I plan to, as part of the degree, document the practice of artists that are already in the dance space, and also document and find ways in which I could critically document my own practice and critically document the practice of South African choreographers, dancers and performers. So my journey with My Body, My Space has luckily been a lengthy journey. So the first time I performed in My Body, My Space, I came here with Lulu Mlangeni with Confined, and that was a work which I scripted and performed in as well. And then the second work that I came with was Rosaline Wilkins' Cry the Beloved El Dorado Park, which was performed here at My Body, My Space in 2018. And then in 2023, I was then called back to perform a tribute work to my mother, Evelyn. And then this year I'm performing Barena Reimagined, a small snippet of it, a 10-minute snippet of Barena Reimagined. And the work, as I spoke about it, is about carrying the legacy of choreographers and dancers and performers who existed before us, particularly David April and Vincent Manzwe, and ensuring that their work continues through embodied practice and embodied research as well. First of all, I'd like to say that every skill that you have, every ability that you have has the ability to take you further than other people. So ensure that you invest and investigate how you yourself as an artist would like to realize your work. Second of all, I would like to recommend that investigating how to educate yourself in your processes of art creation and art presentation, because school sometimes it provides you with a space to be fragile, to be vulnerable, and realize things that work and things that don't work in your work. And then third of all, if school is something that financially is unreachable or unreachable for other reasons, practice, rehearse, invest in your craft. Ensure that when it's time to perform and present to other people, you are at the level that you are even shocking yourself. So take your craft so seriously that someone else who experiences it does not have a doubt about you, your craft, and how you present your craft out to people. So My Body, My Space is a public arts festival, which I think is important for a dancer's journey to be able to move and create and choreograph in spaces outside the theatrical space, be able to go to the community which the work is created for and see immediate responses and immediate experiences of the work that is being presented to the community. My Body, My Space is a great initiative, and it's a great public arts festival and a great space for choreographers to test out which other spaces can their works exist outside the elaborate lights, outside the elaborate stage settings. How can you make sure that your work exists in spaces where the community is, where the community can access your work? I think what drives me is the aim to ensure that I'm writing and rewriting the roots that I come from, the roots of my ancestors, the roots of my mother, my father, and everyone who came before me. And also what drives me is that belief that movement and dance are the only medium or only way of communication that truly communicates how I would like to communicate and truly communicates everything that I would like to communicate without enforcing ways in which I can't communicate or which I can communicate. So I really am driven by movement, I'm driven by dance, and it takes me to different realms, it takes me to different positions that inspire me to continue with it. So the best way to follow the work that I'm doing is to keep track of my social media accounts. So Facebook, Smangaliso Ngwenya, Twitter, Smangaliso Ngwenya, and then on Instagram, it's also Smangaliso Ngwenya, and then TikTok, where I have fun videos there and there, it's Sma_Siphe, and then on LinkedIn as well, you can say Smangaliso Ngwenya. So most of my social media accounts, you can track me by typing Smangaliso Ngwenya. Also on YouTube, if you're interested to see my video work and my screen dance works, I do have a YouTube channel. As you just type Smangaliso Ngwenya there as well, and you'll be able to access my work there as well. So social media is the best way to keep in touch with me. So to the viewers out there, I'm looking forward to having you as a viewer in my shows, in the experiences that I'm providing. It would be great to grow my audiences. It would be great to have different faces in my audiences, because the work that I'm creating is being created for communities, is being created for the people who are not in the theater spaces most of the time. So I hope that this video or this interview will allow you to hear more about my work and be able to come into my work understanding what I do, how I do it, and hopefully see you in the spaces that I'm performing in as well. Thank you.